especially when it comes to the issue of al-fitan. You have to be qualified, you have to be competent, you have to know what you're doing. You have to know when you talk like that, it's going to have ramifications. And look at the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his manzila, his daraja, who he is. And yet Allah Ta'ala prohibited him, warned him, وَلَا تَقْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ إِنَّ السَّمْعَ وَالْبَصَرَ وَالْفُؤَادَ كُلُّ أُولَئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. Ya Muhammad, you Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah said, don't put yourself forward concerning those things that you have no knowledge of. When the people ask you about something that you don't know, just say, Allahu A'lam, I don't know. So Allah told him, don't put yourself forward concerning something you don't have any knowledge about that thing. For verily your hearing, your eyesight, and your heart, all of that is going to be questioned. Don't be like those people. If that's what he told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that's what the Prophet told his companions and cultivated them on it, radiyallahu anhum, then what about us? What about us? And that's not just the only ayah. He tabarak wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, قُلْ إِنَّمَا حَرَّمَ رَبِّيَ الْفَاحِشَ الْفَوَاحِشَ مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا وَمَا بَطَنَ وَالْإِثْمُ وَالْبَغْيَ بِغَيْرِ الْحَقِّ وَأَن تُشْرِكُوا بِاللَّهِ مَا لَمْ يُنَزِّلْ بِهِ سُلْطَانًا وَأَن تَقُولُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ibn al-Qayyim said about this ayah, Ikhwani, where Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned, tell your people, Ya Muhammad, you want to know what Allah made haram? Allah made haram al-fawahish, al-fahisha. He made it haram. And he also made haram doing sins and oppressing people. Al-itham and al-baghi. So he started off with, Ibn al-Qayyim said, al-fawahish. And then oppressing people, being a zalim, a baghi, it's more severe. And then making shirk, which is more severe, the previous two. And then the last one he mentioned, and talking about Allah's religion and things you don't know what you're talking about. So he said in this, the way that Allah Azza wa Jalla put those sins where they gradually became more severe, how is speaking about Allah's religion without knowledge put above or after a shirk? Goes to show the seriousness and the severity and the danger of speaking about the deen without knowledge. Speaking about the deen without knowledge. So the point here is, Khwani, Allah didn't make it fard ayn upon anybody to take a position in these issues. It becomes fard ayn not to get involved, not to help the thing to perpetuate. But you don't have to be one of the people who's talking. So for a person to be following in the sunnah is much better than him being a leader in the fitnah. For him to be following in the sunnah, he's a follower. You know, the guy who's a leader, if he's leading in good, then no problem. He's the first one who came to the masjid. He's the first one who gave sadaqah. Then everyone else gave sadaqah after that, so he gets everyone's reward. So being the first and the leader in good, no problem. But being the leader in a problem, being the leader in fitnah, it's a mushkila. So being a follower, being a follower, people preceded you, but you're following. You're not the leader, you're not the most knowledgeable on the sunnah, but you're following on the sunnah. You're following people in that sunnah. That's better than being a leader in fitnah, a leader in problems. The Shaykh, rahimahullah ta'ala, wa hafidhullah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he brought a number of ayat concerning that particular issue, about not speaking about the religion and issues without knowledge, not speaking about instructions and advice to the community. You don't know what you're doing, not being the one who stands up and the Muslims are in need of direction and you're talking. I heard something that was amazing, because our argument with the rebel rousers and these issues about ISIS, our argument is, hey, why don't you go over there? The Prophet's sunnah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is that when the war got hot, the companion said, we got behind the Nabi. Whenever there was a war, the hottest spot of the war, you found him in the middle of it. And we used to get behind him. So why don't you go over there? I heard one of those biggest rebel rousers with the biggest mouth said, I don't go. People always say, why don't I go? Why don't? He said, I don't go because the people need me here to give them advice so we can send the youngsters. With no shame. With no shame. That's what's said. Because my being here, my presence here is more beneficial. And that's the justification. No, you're the last type of person who should be speaking in these types of issues. Because your kalam, it destroys lives. Your kalam is the kalam that breaks the hearts of parents and families and all kinds of issues. So Adam al-Khawd,